Meghan Markle has had very few outings in the last couple of months, but these few outings have one thing in common, and that one thing proves once again that we should not take her seriously, especially when she's claiming to be a victim, which, in case you haven't noticed, is all of the time. Let's get to the crunch. Before we dive into it, this is your royal reminder to subscribe to the Crown Crunch. It's so much fun and it really does help us all to blossom together. Let's have a look. First, Meghan at this polo match in April, and Meghan on her fake royal tour of Nigeria, and finally Meghan at the ESPY Awards. Now, aside from looking like she hasn't even as much as sniffed a burger for a couple of days, there is something else very strange going on. There is a common theme with regard to what she is wearing. We're seeing a lot of whites, beige, and other colours that are very neutral. And as lovely as these colours are, there is a problem, because during her Netflix Monathon, Meghan used her wardrobe as to highlight just how much of a victim she was during her time as a royal.
I rarely wore color, and I never wanted to upstage or ruffle any feathers, so I just tried to blend it.
She claimed that she purposely opted for colours like beige and camel to serve the royal protocol. She could barely bring herself to curtsy for our queen, but she felt bullied into wearing delicate light colours, stating, "Most of the time that I was in the UK, I rarely wore colour. There was thought in that. To my understanding, you can't ever wear the same colour as Her Majesty if there is a group event, but then you also shouldn't be wearing the same colour as one of the other more senior members of the family." She added, "So I was like, well, what's a colour they'll probably never wear? Camel, beige, white. So I wore a lot of muted tones, but it was also so I could just blend in. Like, I'm not trying to stand out here." If we know anything about Meghan Markle, standing out is something she certainly does like to do. So we can't really take her seriously there. The Duchess also noted, "There is no version of me joining this family and trying to not do everything I could to fit in. I don't want to embarrass the family." Well, it's a little bit late for that, isn't it? I think from her recent outing, we can conclude that maybe she was actually wearing muted tones because she just likes wearing muted tones, and actually it has nothing to do with her trying to fit in to the family or trying to please her new in-laws. As we know, Meghan couldn't give a toss about her in-laws now, nor did she back then, so her statement is utter nonsense. But it is worth mentioning, as she has time and time proven again to us all that she is the master of making herself look like a poor little bullied victim. The girl we should all feel sorry for, as she wasn't allowed to wear colour. She was so trapped and controlled by the institution that is the royal family. I do, however, have a concern for the future with regards to Meghan's recent behaviour. That is, if Meghan is capable of claiming that the stupidest tiny little things make her feel victimised, just what will she claim when the pending divorce from Prince Harry inevitably occurs? She will not leave in a dignified manner. That is not her modus operandi. Instead, she will try her hardest to make Prince Harry look like a monster. Will she claim that Harry's attitude was the reason for her obsessive Ozempic consumption? Or will Harry be blamed for her ever-present claw hand? What else could Harry be blamed for? Will she go 100% Amber Heard on the slightly dim Duke? This trademark behaviour from Meghan could be devastating for Harry, placing him in a very vulnerable situation. But let's be honest, you reap what you sow, and when the time comes, Harry will be reaping heavily for a long, long time. Someone said, "She is so boring in beige herself. She has a rectangle body which would look okay in the right clothes, but she manages to look like a beige SpongeBob SquarePants." She's certainly obsessed with beige, and all this nonsense about having to wear beige to fit in, or having to wear beige because it's the only colour that the royals don't wear. So what nonsense she was talking, I don't know. The royal family like wearing muted colours, actually. Aside from the Queen generally tended to wear bright colours, that's true, but other members of the royal family will often see them wearing muted colours. The fact that she resembles SpongeBob is a little bit true, I must admit. Someone else said, why don't any journalists question them about their blatant hypocrisy? This is a very good question. They get away with a lot from journalists, and I think it's because they have such power over the media that they put out there. They have given the media such a hard time, and so I think people are nervous about, if they put a foot wrong, whoever puts a foot wrong, whoever says something bad about them, they will come after them. They are very pernickety about who is interviewing them. They want things to go their way. We know they are kind of bullies with regards to that. If it doesn't go their way, they will find a way of manipulating the situation to get what they want. Hit like if you too have seen through Meghan's nonsense statements, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss a future episode. We will see you down in the comments.